won't hit max speed though today, because I'm happy with what you've done so far. We'll get that later on in the week. Crucifixes, and then we've got like 4 stations we're doing around the pitch. 27, 28, 29, 30, well done.
Shay, you're looking really good. He's not said that once to me in 5 months, and as soon as the camera comes out.
Try and keep away and keep yourself dry, really. They do it on purpose. They see me setting up and they go, "Oh, Jack's setting up there, let's switch them on."
So you have to do this before every session then?
Yeah, so this is just setting up, making sure, so like when the players come out, everything's ready, it looks professional, because you've got a couple of bits going on today, with Tuesday probably being the biggest day of the week. Flaco's as sports scientists, it's the biggest day for us in terms of contact with the players. So just making sure we're not chasing our tail, we're ahead of time, really. Yeah, so today, because the lads are like doing a big session on the pitch, on the grass, usually Tuesday, if we're working like Saturday. Tuesday usually the big day, working in bigger spaces, a bit more speed work, opening up. If you look Saturday to Saturday, Tuesday is the day that's furthest away from both games. So you've got a window of opportunity there to have some good real work for them. Because the lads coming back off the game off Saturday, a bit later on the Monday, recovering still a little bit from the game. And then Tuesday we can push them a little bit more, because they've got that recovery day on Wednesday before Thursday going into the next game.
Do you find, I'd say, under different managers there's been different kind of intensities on these Tuesdays, or?
Yeah, I think every manager has their own sort of little way of working, their own philosophy and what they demand from the players. It's just different styles, different philosophies. Don't think there's any right or wrong way to that. I've learnt a lot from working in different sort of under different philosophies.
On that, how long have you been at Everton for?
So at Everton, I actually started as an intern back in 2014. In the academy, and that's through John Moore's, Liverpool John Moore's, so they do an intern programme there. So I was 2 years as an intern, then I got a full-time role in the academy as like the sports scientist, and just stayed there for a total of like 7-8 years. Coming to like a lead sports scientist with the under-18s, and then I left for a season. I went to Blackburn Rovers first team for a season there. Best thing I did, because I learned so much about myself and my own beliefs and own philosophy, and I really enjoyed it. It was a great club as well. It's like a season-long loan, people like to say, and then I came back in March last year. So I've been over a year now. Yeah.
Enjoying it?
Oh, I love it, it's class.
So I'm head of first team sports science, and I've been here just over a year now. I've worked in a number of different places, different clubs around Europe, most recently working for the Red Bull Group. Different places, different leagues, Scotland, Spain, France, England as well.
So I noticed that obviously your office is right next to the gym, so I guess there's a lot of work that's done in here, even if it's not necessarily by yourself, but by the sports science team, isn't there?
Probably in this role, I'm less probably player facing than I have been previously in different roles. Manage a fairly decent sized department here with 2 physical performance coaches, sports science, and then a couple of nutritionists. They're the guys that are the experts in what they do and the experts in that delivery. My role is very much kind of to support what they're doing and also challenge them hopefully in the right ways to make sure we're delivering what we need to deliver. But they'll be the guys that spend the majority of time in here or on the pitch with the lads or the indoor hall or the pool or wherever it is we're working.
Yeah, single leg this time.
What are the biggest challenges you face in your role?
The biggest challenge is it probably depend on the level of scale you're looking at. So we are trying to think about and cater for the whole squad of players who are all individual, have different demands, different needs, different makeups. So we're trying to deal with all of those at the same time. We're in a team sport, and we're trying to think about the performance of the team. We're probably in one of the most privileged positions in the club because we have touch points in probably across more spaces than anywhere else. Like, we work directly with the medical guys when we're rehabbing players, and we work directly with the manager on planning training and game loads. And we touch through every kind of point in between, whether it's, Tom the chef is part of our team, so directly in the kitchen, working directly with Kevin, the director of football, and the recruitment guys, the analytics guys. Part of the challenge is thinking about how all that fits together at a bigger scale, but then also remembering that we deal with players on an individual basis and trying to get that detail. So we try and, it's difficult, but we need to try and have a broad outlook, but also quite a deep outlook into where we're going, which is why it's important that we've got a good team here, which we have.
Morning.
100%. Good morning.
Good morning.
So this is
Fours on the mannequin, 4 corners.
Sports science is not a new thing now. It's probably 20 years ago, sports science was a fairly new discipline. And really, sports science is a collection of disciplines. So if you think about performance science as a different term, you've probably got sports science within that, you've got medical within that, you've got the performance analysis, you've got the insights team who try and bring to life a lot of the information that we get. I think from a sports science perspective, there's kind of 3 key areas. Does it help us prevent injuries? Because we need to have availability as high as possible. We need our best players available for every game if we can. That's at the same time as we're trying to push them. So the next one being development. And within sports science, there's the recovery aspect and a massive part of that being nutrition and hydration and everything around that, where we've got Lloyd Parker who drives that area. So everyone will know, like, the lads wear GPS, we've got cameras in the stadiums, we've got tech for this, we've got innovation, there's always something new around the corner. So part of our role is to kind of filter that and make sure whatever we decide to use with the players or with the staff around analytics or whatever, that it's effective. So we have that shared responsibility to make sure whatever we're bringing into the club, we know why we're doing it and we know what we're doing it for.
Run through. Nice, well done. Stay in your course, just have a walk over onto the mannequin. Just 3 reps, boys, we got.
straight away.
Yeah, you can have a little, obviously a little rest. Go. Okay, nice and simple. Blue or yellow, listen to the show. Touch and out, okay? Touching out, yeah? Nice and on your toes, ready to move. Blue, touching out to white. Good. On your toes, ready? Next one's in yellow. Touch. Good.
I feel like you build quite a good relationship with the group then, with the players, because obviously you're working so close with them, aren't you?
Yeah, I think it's got to be key as well, because you spend so much time with them. Yeah. It's key for us building that relationship, so when you want them to do certain drills, they trust you and what you're doing and why you're doing it. It's just communication as well, because you're working with them so much all through the day, all through the year and season. Like, you need to have that relationship, you need to have a good working relationship.
When you look at football, there's a lot of versions of the same themes, if that makes sense. And we've got a philosophy that we believe is going to be successful. I think, one of my main role in coming to the club was to be that connect, really. We've got a new manager coming into the football club, and we need to really quickly get to know and establish relationships with the existing staff. And our job is to establish those relationships really, really quickly, get the relationships with the players so everyone's on board. What you get with a change of manager is a change of culture being just how you operate every day in a building or in an environment. So the manager's really clear on a way he wants to operate. So we needed to make sure we're all on board really quickly and we align with that expectation. We have a kind of a game code, if you will, where you've got a number of days after game, a number of days towards the next game. And that's the series of meetings that happens every day. So we'll meet as a sports science staff and talk about sports science objectives. The medical guys will speak about, some of the medical objectives they have and the injuries. We all come together. And then the heads of department go into a coaches meeting, obviously, which the gaffer kind of holds, and then we'll talk about training and the week and do a lot of planning and organisation. You know, one of the things to say, there's a lot of staff here, and we've got a lot of really competent and good people. So that's a great foundation to then provide like a performance support for the players, and that's what we try and do. The guys, they bring the stats to the table for the sports science lads to go through every week. At the start of the week, we'll look at, you know, over a long period of time, over the last few weeks, what individuals might need who've done a little bit less because they haven't been playing, where a few individuals might need a little bit more. And obviously, and who's going to do that and communicate that through to the players. And then when the medical staff come into that, there's kind of medical considerations of whether they can do that, and if they can't, what they can and can't do from a medical perspective. So in theory, time between game, you've got the squad, it seems quite straightforward in terms of recovery, but the reality is there's so many moving parts. That's where the organisation and the communication across all the heads of department and the coaching staff is really, really important. You know, we've always got the information for anyone to come and get, you know, individually in a little bit more depth, but from a collective point of view, the stats go on the screens every day after training, so they can see what numbers they've done in training. And then we'll set physical objectives, like we said before, you know, in terms of what we want to achieve in an individual session for the team, but also outside of that to make sure everyone's really ready to go and perform in the games.
I'll go.
Oh, I tell you what, cameras should come all the time. Nice, Jack. Jack. Yeah, no.
Don't worry, that's first time to sit.
Look at the
I thought we were mates.
We've got a current situation with Seamus, where Seamus is coming back after a lengthy period. The same will be the case when Delhi gets fit again. You know, we've got a process and you can't cheat the system. There'll be sports science and medical input to each rehab right at the very start. They follow that journey all the way through and feed back to the full group so everyone can have a say on anything that is needs to be discussed.
We won't hit max speed though today, because I'm happy with what you've done so far. We'll get that later on in the week. Crucifixes, and then we've got like 4 stations we're doing around the pitch.
I'm curious, in the Dom example then, Dom spoke openly, hasn't he, about the fact that he hasn't felt pressured to come back. He was given plenty of time, and we've seen the rewards in terms of, you know,
His availability,
and his form as well since he's come back. Was that a conversation that you would have had a collective in terms of advising the manager on what you guys think and what you think's best in terms of giving them that time to truly recover?
No, absolutely. It applies to Dom. It applies to, you know, Jack Harrison when Jack came in. Really, we're just looking for that healthy pattern of training. You can sometimes, when there's games and you're in and you're out, you don't get that consistency of training. And some people over the years, and you know, it's been well documented that Dom struggled a little bit, which is unfortunate, and we're trying to help, you know, have that healthy training pattern where Dom gets back in and his body is familiar and conditioned to train every day. And so we're managing that to make sure players, when they are going in to start games, are healthy and available to perform without pushing them and risking too much.
Jack's been brilliant. I think lads, or people just see lads being injured and then back in the pitch, but they don't realise how much effort's gone into good these boys are at what they do. We're lucky, very lucky. They give you much of a break or much water breaks or anything like that?
No.
Tells you what to do and that's it. His way or the highway.
Yeah, on the line then.
There you go, see?
Come on. 27, 28, 29, 30. Well done.
Shay, you're looking really good. He's not said that once to me in 5 months. And as soon as the camera comes out.
Tough?
Last few.
Yeah.
After the dribble, the trap there.
Yeah.
But again, tough, but like, he's strong.
I mean, he looked strong at the end there.
Yeah.
Well done, Shay.
Thank you. Oh yeah, last full day. Last full day with them. Thank God. Don't mean that really.
Finish it up. Well done.
So the lads have just finished training, so what's the process in terms of refueling and getting that key nutrition back in?
Yeah, so it's obviously really important from a recovery point of view to help the adaptation from training, but then also recovery so they can go again in the next couple of days leading up to the game. So generally our main kind of philosophy is that on the really heavy days, so Tuesdays generally are really kind of is one of the higher intensity days and higher load days, and we kind of go along the premise of kind of a carb periodization. So depending on how hard the players have worked, it depends how much they need to fuel up around those. So a really simple analogy for that, and what we say to the bloods is kind of how much fuel you put in a car. So depending on how much distance you're covering in the training or the game, depends how much fuel you need to then put in your body. So really simple one, obviously if you're driving from Liverpool to Manchester, short journey, short amount of fuel. So Monday's generally kind of an introductory session, so that'd be kind of that. If you're driving to London, huge amount of fuel needed. So Tuesday, big work day, so a lot of fuel needed pre and post session. So that's a general nice simple kind of anecdote that we give to the players on how to kind of fuel up around those kind of bigger training sessions. And then obviously Wednesday's a bit of a quieter day, and then we'll load back up kind of Friday going towards Saturday for the match. So yeah.
For those heavier sessions where lads maybe have to take a little bit more on board, do you find you have a little bit of a tussle with them trying to get them to do so, or?
I'm not too. My approach is generally kind of more standoffish. I don't want to be seen as the food police. I'm not going to be there dictating to them exactly what to eat, but it's more the kind of that portion guide. So again, we'll be around the dining area if they've got questions for us, and we'll try and prompt them into the right areas. I don't like to be too enforceful on it, but on certain times, if we've got 3 games in a week, then we will be a bit more forceful on what they have. And again, we might set some scales up and get them to weigh some foods and stuff that they're having around that time. So yeah, different periods will be a bit more on it than another periods, definitely.
What do you enjoy most about the role then?
I like the challenge of thinking about all the ways we can help with performance and how we can try and coordinate those things to help the players and the team the most. You know, it's always a privilege to be around players who are good at what they do and get to watch that every day, and also the atmosphere and being together as a team, as a group of staff, but with the players and being around them as well. You know, they bring a lot of energy and a lot of fun to it. So.